Hi, it's Doris. I just wanted to share with you some English expressions, and we will be talking about motivational quotes, and also we will be reading some history. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, let's see. English expression. Okay, with Doris. How are you? How have you been? So, one of the first expressions I like to share is never stop learning. Never stop learning. It's not really, an expression where the words substitute for something that they don't mean. In other words, when I say never stop learning, I don't mean something else. I mean never stop learning because learning is something that we do our whole lives, right? We are born as little children, we go to school, and then as adults, we're learning our jobs. Maybe we're in college. Maybe we're having children, and we don't know how to be moms, right? So we learn. We're constantly learning. Learning never stops. I love this lady. She looks so happy. Why is she happy? Well, she graduated. Maybe she graduated from the most famous college in America. Look at those buildings in the back. Maybe she graduated with her master's degree or her bachelor's degree. What if she just graduated from high school? Imagine that. I think it's great no matter what because we never stop learning. Sometimes things happen in our lives and we're not able to finish school or go to school the way we'd like to. We have children, we have husbands, right? We have to learn how to continue to learn even as we go through life because life will always teach us something. The learning is always happening. Even now, you're in English class, you're an adult, never stop learning. Think big. I love think big. Think big reminds me of this bird flying. Right? He's flying, he's achieving things that he never thought he could do, right? Think big. Sometimes we're so busy and our minds are so busy and with the things that we have to do. Maybe we have work, maybe we have to take care of the children, maybe we have to go to our jobs, maybe we're in school. Things make and there's a lot of things going on in society today that are very distracting, right? And make us not think of our work. We're thinking of the different things, my family. How do I take care of my family? You know what? I want to encourage you to think big. I want to encourage you to, sometimes we'll say in English, think outside the box. And what that means is don't think about what you normally think about. Maybe dream a little bit. Maybe think about something you'd like to do. The quarantine helped us with that, right? Some of us learned a new skill or a new activity that we could do. I started to garden myself, so I have a lot of flowers growing at my house. Think big. Think beyond what you normally think. Maybe you have an idea about something. Maybe you could take that idea to the next level. Maybe you will like that lady. I'd like to go back to school. You never know. Think big. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. He is an American hero because he was someone who never stopped learning and he was someone who knew how to think big. He knew how to dream. One of his famous speeches, as we know, was about a dream that he had. And I don't know if it was something to where he was sleeping and he dreamt about it, but I think maybe it was just an idea that he had, an idea about unity in the world. I love this calendar. I know it's not January right now, it is June, and it's not uh, winter at all. It's summertime. January is a winter month. But I chose this because his birthday is January 15th. Now, sometimes January 15th is on a Monday, but we celebrate his birthday on a Monday. Do you know which Monday we use to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday? It's usually the third Monday of the month of January. So on this particular January, his birthday would be the 19th. But I wanted to read a little bit about his life and just to encourage us a little bit. I'm going to take it out of share mode. Hopefully you can see it. Let's see. Bear with me. Martin Luther King. Let's read a little bit about his life. Okay. You can see this. Too small, too big. All right, we're in Zoom. Let's go. Hopefully you can see this. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of the most important leaders of the 20th century. The 20th century, 1901 to 1999 is the 20th. He was born on January 15th, 1829. Americans celebrate his life on the third Monday of January. We talked about that. This year, it's January 19th. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Christian minister. What's a minister? Sometimes we call him preacher, pastor, reverend, minister. He was a leader in his church that he went to. He led a nationwide movement to end segregation and to get complete civil rights for Black people. Movement. A movement is a time of change. Perhaps people in a society would like things to be different, and so they start to discuss and get together and create ideas of how we can make changes in society, usually for the good, okay? Segregation. Segregation happened during during the 20th century. We talked about the 20th century. During the 1900s in the United States, we were segregated. Black people had to use different facilities, different libraries, different restaurants, different trains, different cars on the train, different bathrooms, different water fountains. We did not have the same rights as others. Okay, it talks about the work of Martin Luther King. The work of Martin Luther King was dangerous. It's very dangerous to have a movement and to make change. The police arrested King for leading a bus boycott in Alabama. When he got out of jail, someone threw a bomb into his house. It almost killed him and his family. Yeah. Even after that violence by others, King taught nonviolence. Violence and nonviolence. What's the difference between violence and nonviolence? Well, we know that violence is bombing. They talked about bombing his house. Killing is violence. Different things that cause harm to a person is violence, physical harm. King taught nonviolence. Nonviolence. He said that love was stronger than hate. He formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC, to fight segregation. He wrote books, went on speaking tours, and led sit-ins. What's a sit-in? Well, because of segregation, Blacks and whites had different restaurants. So Blacks had different sections. And a sit-in was where a Black person, and usually a lot of these movements, it was not just Black people, it was Black people and brown people and Asians and people from all over the world would help the United States with these type of movements. A sit-in was where a few people sat together at a counter where they weren't supposed to sit because by law, we were supposed to be segregated. With a sit-in, it was an exercise in expressing human rights, that everyone deserved to be the same. In 1958, a person with a knife stabbed King and almost killed him. He visited India to study the way that Gandhi used nonviolence to free India from Great Britain. This is important because a minute ago we just talked about how we never stop learning. And even Martin Luther King, as a minister, and all the things that he encouraged the United States to do, he went to India to study. Isn't that amazing? He visited India to study. He never stopped learning. Okay, let's see if we can pick this back up in the screen share. Let's see. Okay, so what we have here, we have, looks like some money, and then we have a bus. So let's see what's going on. All right, so it says, even after that violence by others, oh, I'm sorry, I read that already. Let's go here. In 1963, he decided to do the March on Washington. In 1963, 250,000 people came to Washington, D.C. They wanted Congress to pass voting rights, a voting rights law. King spoke to the crowd that day and made a speech. The speech became one of the most famous speeches of the 20th century. People call it the I Have a Dream speech. In 1964, Martin Luther King was the youngest person ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize. That's what this is. It's prizes that they give out in Sweden, and it's for different things like intelligence or technology, science, and they give one for peace also. Peace means no wartime. And Martin Luther King talked about peace, and he wanted peace for all Americans. King then started to work for the rights of all poor people, white and black. He started the Poor People's Campaign. He spoke against the U.S. war in Vietnam. He was definitely someone who wanted a peaceful world. In 1968, King was assassinated. Assassinated, what does that mean? Unfortunately, it means killed. Someone killed him in Memphis, Tennessee. He was just 39 years old. Police caught his killer, James Earl Ray. Ray pled guilty to the shooting of King. He spent the rest of his life in jail. Pled guilty. What does pled guilty mean? Well, pled is the past tense of the word plead. And when you go to court, if you've done something wrong, you can plead guilty. If you feel like you haven't done anything wrong, you can plead not guilty. Pled means past tense. So Ray did kill King when he went to jail. He confessed. He pled guilty. Past tense, pled. There is a memorial in Washington, D.C. Mall to honor Martin Luther King Jr. You can hear his famous I Have a Dream speech online at this link. Here's his quote, I have a dream. He is very well known for this. And this is a picture of the memorial. I don't know who's ever had a chance to go there. It's in Washington, D.C. This is the area. This is New York and a few miles down Washington, D.C. If you've never gone, I encourage you. It's a great moment, and they have his sayings all over the wall. It's very, very powerful. I just wanted to say that I hope everybody is well, and I want to encourage us all, even myself, with this quote. Everyone has a chance to make a difference. There's always something that we can do to help others. Even though it's May not be big like Martin Luther King. There's something that we all can do. We can help a neighbor. We can um, do so many things. We can help each other. We can, if you have a garden, you can grow vegetables and give them to your neighbor. If you see someone that needs help in the store, you can help them there. You can pick up the phone and give someone a call. There's so many great things that we can do to help each other. Thank you so much for listening. See you soon. Have a good day.